So I was on Discord with my Discord kitten when all of a sudden I received a message. It explained that his Minecraft buddy of 10 years went missing and never returned. And they wanted me to find him. Of course, I said yes because obviously, if someone goes missing, you go to a YouTuber to figure it out. Duh, and especially one with 47 subscribers. So I took the case and clicked the link. Somehow that link wasn't a scam, but instead was a link to a now inactive YouTube channel. There were two videos. What's that? You don't like how crusty the videos are? Well, tell that to the Minecraft entity that uploaded these in 144p. The first video begins on an empty survival world, with assumedly Matt looking around and then at us, jumping around and starting his first Minecraft world. Obviously he chops down some wood, as you do, and then for some reason he looks down, which I've noticed he would do a lot throughout these videos. He notices the weird rain patterns and looks at the beach. This wouldn't be the last time he would look at the beach. For now, he seems to be interested not at the vista but at the bottom of the ocean. As you do, he crafts a crafting table, but before he places it down, for some reason, he looks at a hill. For some reason, he looks at it for a long time, before putting his crafting table down and finding himself in a house. I don't know what that means, but there isn't footage of him building a house. Afterwards, he goes mining, probably because you can just mine it real quick and you don't need to give much attention. He goes back to his house and using the oak he crafts sticks, and with the sticks he makes a pickaxe. And back to the mine he goes to mine stone. He gets the achievement Stone Age from what little pixels we have, and as it turns to night, he goes back with a stack of coal, which he uses immediately to make some torches. Smart decision. Assuming that game mode isn't peaceful, he puts a lot of torches around before once again looking at the hill far away. Then he goes back as jolly as ever, jumping and placing his torches. Then noticing that the top of his house is dark too, he puts down a torch there and one inside the house. There seems to be two doors, but Matt never uses the second one, the one that leads to the beach. And just like that, night arrives.
I don't want to go out there. There are monsters.
What that means still remains a mystery. And why does he keep looking over at the hill? That's another one.
Let's go to sleep.
He finally decides to go to sleep. And that is the first video. Now, the interesting thing about the first video is, to me, the second door, which we will see used in the second video, but for now, Matt seems to be avoiding the second door, even though he built the house himself. Another very obvious thing to note is that he keeps looking over the hill, far away, and for some reason, he never even approaches it. He keeps to his small part of the island. What did he mean by monsters? Does he just mean, zombies and endermen and such? Because he keeps looking over the hill as if to say that the monsters are over there. And just so you know, no, Matt isn't playing the old beta version of Minecraft. He's playing the newest one. But even with that, his idea of Minecraft seems to be very basic. He doesn't even build a, basic house. He just makes a cube with windows. Are the windows for better peeping at, the supposed monsters? And finally, why didn't he close the door before going to bed? And with that, we are gonna start looking into the second video now. So it begins normal, with Matt waking up. And for some reason, he takes his time to look around in his own home. I don't know why he does this, but he avoids the other door again, and for some reason he decides to climb onto the roof. He looks around, and for some reason he again takes his time. He finally drops down and starts heading east. He does start chopping down some trees, but he changes his mind halfway through. After chopping down some more trees, he comes to another tree. And this is one of the first times things get interesting. Because after picking up a brown egg and after inspecting it and throwing it back to the chicken it came from, he climbs a tree. Just any tree, it doesn't matter. It's a normal tree. And I kid you not, after he picks up an apple and inspects that too, he stands still. Yes, for the first time ever, Matt is not moving. And Matt stays that way for basically 5 minutes. We don't know what happens to make him stop playing the game for 5 entire minutes, even though his mouse seems to be moving slightly every once in a while. He's completely stopped, and after 5 or so minutes, he raises his hand and keeps playing. He looks around, looks at the sun, and looks back where he came from. He seems to calibrate himself, or maybe the environment might seem for some reason unfamiliar to him. He walks back. He doesn't make any stops. He walks back to his home. And then he stops to look at the hill once again. We still don't know why he does this. Basically, the only time the hill was mentioned was when he told us that he was feeling scared. When he's about to make a sign, the video stops. And this time it's nighttime, and finally the other door is utilized, and Matt seems to be braver than normal because he doesn't put down any torches and he starts heading east again. He looks around and he basically goes back to inspect the trees he already cut. He wants to say something, but he changes his mind. And he positions himself. Another thing that we don't know why he does. But after staying like that for some time, he decides to go back to his home. Mats would not repeat this behavior, but weirdly enough, he would be infatuated with throwing brown eggs. He picks up an apple and throws it to the gravel hill. And afterwards, he places down a second bed and goes to sleep. The video doesn't end there though, because he wakes up and looks straight for the beach. He looks at it almost longingly and he says,
Holiday. Let's go. Smiley face.
Just as he's about to leave, he sees a sign that, from how he reacts, is obvious that he didn't put there. It's a simple sign that just says, hello. Notice how the sign also seems to have a smiley face too. Matt is quick to break it down. He peeks at the hill but doesn't stop. He goes mining with his wooden pickaxe. Matt mines stone blocks, seemingly for a long time. And afterwards, he returns back to the surface. This time though, things seems a little different. He notices the apple right in front of the gravel he stacked. He picks it up for whatever reason, even though he's the one that left it. And he stays there, inspecting the apple. And he stays like this for a good minute. A chicken passes by his screen and it seems to have caught his attention, so he closes his inventory. Once again, just like in the first video, he goes to the beach.
This place is awesome. Let's go.
We don't know what that means, but he seems to be maybe fond of the environment. He's again quickly glancing at the hill far away. He goes mining again and he goes back to his home. But this time things seem a little different and he stops before turning his attention to the sign placed on this doorstep. We can see Matt's name, but he breaks it down again before closing his door and, for some reason, sticking his face right up into it. But then something that's really special, he turns off his UI and, weirdly enough, he starts approaching whatever it was that he saw. As he approaches, we also seem to get a glance of what seems to terrify him, but there's nothing there. Matt seems confused. He turns his UI back on and fixates his eyes on the chicken. And then he looks at the hill. This time, however, the video cuts to the POV from the hill, and it seems to be some sort of watchtower. It's looking right at Matt's house. Before turning his attention to a sapling. Now, when we analyze this video, we find two very interesting aspects. The first is that Matt, for whatever reason, keeps stopping playing the game. Whatever he was looking at last, he seems to keep holding that view. The first is when he picks up the apple and gets ready to cut down the tree. He stops moving completely right after he finds the apple. I don't know if this is important, but in both moments, right after he gets stopped by an apple, he gets released after noticing a chicken. Maybe if he's the one uploading these, he might be trying to get our attention on the apple. Another aspect is Matt's behavior. Sometimes he goes to the beach, sometimes he avoids it, sometimes he picks up an apple, and sometimes he refuses to. Both times he stops is after he changes the way he plays the game. And what I mean by that is that after heading east to cut down some trees, he seems to get stopped for a long time. Right at these moments, the video either gets cut or Matt gets blocked. I do have a theory on what could be the reason, but as it stands, I can't say much. Also, if this is a single player world, who's placing the signs? It's not Matt. He seems to be confused enough, and we can tell that he's confused because he seems to close his UI and approach whatever it was that he saw. So what did he see? And what was that at the end of the video that we saw? Someone preying on Matt? Someone looking over his world? Is that Matt too? Right after he decided to climb, was it Matt at the beach or was that someone else? Matt seems to have a catchphrase of sorts. Let's go. And even then, can we trust it? So, the second video leaves us with some questions. Who is at the hill? Who are these monsters that Matt's talking about? Is Matt the one really playing the game? And why does his behavior seem to change? So, is that it? Is this very tense? There is no Google link, there's no links at all actually, and there's no hidden messages. Until, just as it seems that we have nothing else to go on, we find that there is actually a story, or rather, a nursery rhyme that features sticks, apples, and chicken. It's weird that it's a rhyme with numbers. It goes like this. Apple on a stick makes me sick. Makes my heart beat 246, not because it's dirty, not because it's clean, just because you kissed a boy behind a magazine. Boys, girls, having fun. Here comes Johnny with a pickle up his bum. He can wiggle, he can wobble, he can even do the splits. But I betcha $10 he can't do this. And I think this part is how we can find what happened to Matt. Close your eyes and count to 10. If you muck it up, you're a big fat hen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Using this, we can access a Google Drive link featuring a zip file. There seems to be a password on this zip file, but using the sign we found, we can easily open and extract the zip file. In it, we find one more video, the final video that we can use to solve what happened to Matt. We see someone opening up his world, titled My World, in creative mode. Obviously, we can see right at first glance that it's indeed Matt's survival mode.
You will never see him.
Obviously, this isn't Matt, and by him, it obviously means Matt himself. But who is controlling this world? Then something horrifying happens. Whoever this is takes a bottle and places it in his inventory. He picks up a brown block and places it in his inventory too. He looks around devilishly and places it. Oh no. He places the brown block and places the yellow liquid on top of the brown block, revealing that he was the pee-pee poo-poo man. The evil pee-pee poo-poo man that we have been battling on this channel for 5 episodes. He's an evil guy who keeps kidnapping children to make viral Minecraft videos, and his evil knows no stop. It seems Matt too is in his possession. It seems once again we know what happens here. Matt was taken by the pee-pee poo-poo man himself. The pee-pee poo-poo man forced him to make Minecraft videos just for him to appear in it and make ARG videos, making a lot of money for himself. And he enjoys it. He enjoys watching this. And if you enjoyed watching this, leave a like. He was watching Matt from the hill the entire time. He was in control of everything. He's a great adversary and a complete threat. The pee-pee poo-poo man is no joke. So is this it? Are we done here? Is the pee-pee poo-poo man gonna show up in the 6th episode too? Can we do anything to save Matt? Well, in the zip file there was not just a video, there was also a save file. Yes, a Minecraft save file. If I'm correct, we can go find Matt's world right now. And it seems to be the one. It seems I've spawned in the river right next to the hill that Matt was terrified about, and the pee-pee poo-poo man watched Matt from. In just a quick while, I was able to climb the hill. This must be the spot. Looking back to episode 4 when he made his previous victim Johnny turn left at the crossroads. As I climb down, I am shook. Are we gonna be able to finally put an end to this? As I approach Matt's house, immediately something takes my attention. 2 gravel blocks, the 2 gravel hills, the 2 gravel towers. Of course there's a hole here too, but it seems that Matt's 2 beds survived, so that's a bigger concern for me. As I climb down, I embrace myself. What is it that we're gonna find behind this door?
Find me. 1293912931283 151515512522232 9928181838292 258 258 258 258 258 258 258 258 258.
Oh my god. There were two Mario brothers in his house. How could we miss that? The two beds, the two gravel towers, Matt's different attitude towards chicken and apples and eggs and the beach. The PP Pooperman didn't just kidnap Matt, he also had his brother, Luigi. He wasn't just forcing Matt to make a single-player world ARG, he was making both Mario Brothers do Minecraft ARG multiplayer, and he would go on to use both their views for double the content and double the view count. In the previous videos, whenever Matt stops to look at places, you can see a shadowy figure. Was that Matt? Was that Mario's brother Luigi? If this is the case, where are Luigi's videos? Is the PP Poo Man keeping them for his content farm? Before I set off to find Luigi at least, I returned to Discord to deliver a message most urgent. And with that, it seems Matt's mystery has come to a close. And our rivalry with the evil PP Poo Man seems to go on. Thanks to Mario and Luigi, we seem a step closer now. And continue our search for Minecraft YouTuber money there. I mean Minecraft mystery there. Thank you for watching. Will the mystery continue? Will we beat the evil PP Poo Man? Find out as soon as I get my check from YouTube.